Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Welcome to the Disney Days Planning Podcast. This podcast is information about Walt Disney World, which is organized by topic. I'm your host, Alyssa Salveson. Hello, welcome to the Disney Days Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Alyssa, and today we're going to talk about tickets. Now, in order to enter a theme park, a water park, or some other recreational activities that Disney World has to offer, like golf and mini golf, you need a ticket, a valid ticket to enter. There are a variety of ticket types. Some are date-based, so they must be used within a certain date or on a certain date, and others are not. There are 5 types of tickets for theme parks. There's a 1 park per day pass. There's a water park and sports option you can add to that. There's a park hopper, then there's a park hopper plus, and then there are annual passes. I'm going to break it all down next. There are some extras you can get tickets separately for, and I'll describe that at the end as well. Everyone 3 and up needs a ticket to enter a theme park, a water park, things that Disney has. A child's ticket, what a child is considered in Disney World, are ages 3 to 9. And on average for a theme park, they're about $5 less than an adult ticket. And again, adult ticket is 10 and up. Kids 3 and under are free, and free in all sense of the word. They're free to enter the parks and activities, and they're also free to eat. They get free meals in Disney World. Now, their free meal is going to be like macaroni and cheese. You can't select it. If you're purchasing a meal from the menu, you're purchasing the meal from the menu. But a child under 3 does get a free meal, is free. Okay, so now we're going to talk about date-based tickets for theme parks and then the options that are not date-based. So date-based tickets, again, there are 4 different type of date-based tickets that you can purchase. One is a 1 park per day pass, and it's just that you go to 1 park per day. You can add the water park and sports option onto a 1 park per day pass. I'm going to talk about all this, don't worry. Then there's a hopper pass, a park hopper, it's called. And then there's Hopper Plus. And for these tickets, these date-based tickets, you'll have a date range to use those tickets in. So if you have a 3-day pass, you have a certain amount of days to go to the parks for 3 days. Okay? Prices vary. They vary based on number of days you want to go, and sometimes by the park. If it's just a 1 park ticket, Magic Kingdom is always more expensive than the other parks. They also vary based on time of year, again, the dates. If you look on the website, it'll say starts at 119. But in reality, the mode price is 150. There's only a few days that are truly 100 that start at $119. So if you're thinking about the price tickets and you see that, it's probably not 119. Only 13 days in September are $119 and 8 days in August. That's it for 2025. August and September are the least expensive months to visit the parks. The theme park tickets are the least expensive. And then the more days you go, the less per day you pay. So on the website, it says 1 day starts at 119. But if you buy a 10-day pass, it's $63 per day. I'm going to break everything down, and when I do, I'm going to use the release date of this episode, which is Monday, December 16th. I'm going to use that as the example, okay? So when I'm talking about, I'm going to use real prices, and I'm going to use December 16th. That's the date that I've done all this research on. So for a 1 day ticket, the price range for December 16th is $149 to $258. That is for an adult 10 years old and older. So the 149 starts at, it's just one of the theme parks, and the 258 is the Hopper Plus option for starting at that date. Okay, so let's dive into 1 park per day. That's exactly what I said. It's you can visit only 1 park per day of your stay, or how many tickets you purchase. For a one park per day ticket on December 16th, so just for that day, a 1 day ticket, if you're buying a ticket just to Magic Kingdom on December 16th, it is $174. If you're buying a ticket just to Epcot that day, it's $159. Hollywood Studios, $169, and Animal Kingdom's that the lowest price we saw in the range at $149. But if you want to go for 10 days starting on December 16th, so you're buying 10 one park per day passes, it would be $818.59 per adult. So that's about $81 a day. So compare that 81 to the 174 of Magic Kingdom. So do you understand what I'm saying? The more days you go, the more tickets you buy, the less per day you pay. So now on a one park per day ticket, you can also add a water park and sports option, but you can only do that if you're going 2 or more days. So what this means is you can go to the theme parks, like a theme park a day, and you can go to mini golf, foot golf. You can go to these a water park, other things too, with however many days you buy. Okay, so you can enter one theme park and one of the water parks, the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex, only on event days. The Disney's Oak Trail Golf Course, but you still need a tee time in order to play. Foot golf when it's available, but you need a tee time for that too. One round of Disney's Fantasia Gardens Miniature Golf Course, which is prior to 4 p.m., and one round of Disney's Winter Summerland Miniature Golf Course prior to 4 p.m. For 2 days, that pass is $381.93. So that's $190.97 per day. For 10 days of that water park and sports option, it would be $888.59, so about $89 a day. And again, that means you can go to one theme park a day, and also you could go to those things I just listed above. Next, we have a hopper pass, a park hopper. A park hopper means you can visit multiple theme parks on a given day. So you could start at Magic Kingdom, then hop over to Epcot. You can hop to one other park, to two other parks, to three other parks, and actually you could even hop back to the park you started with. Truly, the sky's the limit. You could scan into many different parks, and that's on one given day. That's what a hopper means. Usually with young kids, I don't recommend hopping. Okay, so for that 1 day on December 16th, if you were to buy a 1 day park hopper pass, it's $238. So compare that to the 174 for Magic Kingdom, okay? That's significantly more. A 10-day hopper is $913.59, so about $91 a day. And here you go with that savings. Okay, so that's a park hopper. Then there's a Hopper Plus pass. So the Hopper Plus is basically the hopper and that water park and sports option that I was telling you about before. So you can go to as many theme parks as you want in a day, and you can also visit both water parks, the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex, the Disney's Oak Trail Golf Course, the foot golf when it's available, one round of Disney's Fantasia Gardens miniature golf, and one round of Disney's Winter Summerland miniature golf, both of those prior to 4 p.m. That Hopper Plus pass for December 16th is $258. So only $20 more than the Hopper option. For 10 days for the Hopper Plus would be $933.59, which is roughly $93 a day. So if you think you want to go to theme parks and these other things too, that's where you should look into these other options. If you just want to go to the theme parks, then it's not necessary to get these passes. But if you think you'd like to play miniature golf or go to a water park or something like that, then look into these Hopper Plus and the water park and sports option for the one park per day pass. Other than that, you just need a one park per day or a hopper. That's the biggest decision. So now I'm going to talk to you about the date range to use the tickets in. So you can be somewhat flexible during your trip, but not too flexible. So for a 1 day ticket, you just have the date that you buy it for. You just have that date to use it. So in my example, if I bought for December 16th, I just have December 16th to use it. For a 2 day ticket, you have 4 days to use it. For a 3-day ticket, you have 5 days to use it, or to use them, to use each of those tickets. For a 4-day pass, you have a whole week to use a 4-day pass. So you can break it, you can slip in rest days. For 5 days, you have 8 days to use it. For a 6-day pass, you have 9 days to use them. For 7-day pass, you have 10 days to use them. For 8-day pass, you have 12 days to use them. For a 9-day pass, you have 13 days to use them. And for a 10-day pass, you have 14 days to use them. So if you're going for 2 weeks, you may want to consider that 10-day pass. Also, there's a big drop in the price per day when you get to 5 days. Before that, it just goes down a little bit, but you see a pretty big drop in the price per day when you get to 5 days. So those are your date-based tickets, what I just described. Now, the non-date-based tickets are annual passes. With annual passes, they're like a season pass. If you have a season pass to a theme park near you, it's similar. And you would have just about unlimited visits a year with with those passes. But there might be restrictions and blackout dates. And I'm going to talk about that all. I'm going to break it all down for you now. You do need a theme park reservation, however, before 2 p.m. Now, when Disney World reopened after the COVID closure, everyone needed to make park reservations, but they took it away for the date-based tickets. But unfortunately, people who have annual passes, you still need to make park reservations. Hopefully that goes away soon, but as of right now, it is still a policy that they have before 2 p.m. After 2 p.m., you don't need a reservation, except for Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom on Saturdays and Sundays, you still need a park reservation for. And then there are some good to go days where you wouldn't need a pass. Those would not exist during any busy time, but they do exist. When I was down in February, actually, there were quite a few good to go days when we could just pop in. I'm going to talk about when I break down each individual annual pass that's available, I'll talk about how many park reservations you get because that varies per pass you have. With an annual pass, you get free standard parking, and parking at a Disney park can be $30 a day. Now, if you're staying on Disney property right now, it's complimentary to park at a theme park. It's not always though. That recently changed back. It's, subject to change. But it's $30 to park. So if you're like when you're doing the math about an annual pass, you have to also calculate that in if you're somebody who would drive to the theme parks and have to park your car. You also get pretty significant discounts on food and merchandise, up to 20%. You also get discounts on special ticketed events like the Christmas party, the Halloween party, after hours events. You get discounts on tours that they have. Sometimes you get little perks like they just sent us a magnet for your car. Sometimes you're eligible for special merch and popcorn buckets, things like that. You can get special discounts on resort stays. I have stayed at the Grand Floridian with a 35% discount multiple times. So that adds up too. And you have discounts also on Cirque du Soleil at Disney Springs, on any tour you want to do, golf, if a golf fee at the golf course. One day at the water park, you get discounts on, and also you can get some discounts on car rentals. So besides the convenience of being able to go at any time you want into the park within reason, without, looking at your blackout dates, you also get a lot of discounts. Okay, now I'm going to break down the types of passes. Before I describe the different types of passes, 3 of these passes are eligible for Florida residents. 2 of them are open just to Florida residents. One is open to Florida residents and Disney Vacation Club members, and one's open for any guest. But in order to be a Florida resident, it doesn't necessarily mean you need a Florida ID or a driver's license of Florida. What you need is, like, if you own an investment property or an Airbnb or a second home or something like that in Florida, that counts. You just need a bill within 3 months of when you're upgrading your purchasing this or upgrading your ticket. You need to just show proof that you own a bill with a Florida address on it and your name. So if you have like a second home or an Airbnb, like I said before, you are eligible. Yeah, I mean, go call Disney and and check the show notes too. I linked all sorts of things in the show notes, but you are eligible for that as well. Okay, so now let me talk about the different types of passes. The least expensive annual pass and the one with the largest amount of blackout dates and restrictions is the Pixie Dust Pass. That is, as of the date I am recording, is $469 plus tax. Florida residents can pay monthly with 0% interest. So you'd put $205 down and pay $25 a month. There are many blackouts, and also this is a mostly weekday pass. Again, every holiday is blocked out. So if a holiday is on a weekday, you can't go. But all weekends are blocked out, all major holidays, sometimes days before and after a major holiday. A week in March for spring break, 2 weeks in April for spring breaks. The long 4th of July weekend is blacked out. Half of December is blocked out. And a week in November over Thanksgiving. You can make up to 3 park reservations at a time, but if you're staying on property, you actually can add and make park reservations for each day that you're staying of your stay also. And that is the same with all of these annual passes. You'll have a certain amount of reservations that you can make, but if you're staying on property, you can make additional ones based on the amount of days of your stay. The next level up is the Pirate Pass. That is also open to a Florida resident. I've already described a Florida residency to you. That is $829 plus tax. Florida residents, again, can pay monthly with 0% interest. You put $205 down, and then it's $57 a month. All major holidays are blacked out, about half of December, a week in March, 2 weeks in April. You can make up to 4 park reservations at a time. And then again, if you're staying on property, you can make reservations for each day of your stay as well. Next, we have the Sorcerer's Pass. The Sorcerer's Pass is open to Florida residents, but also Disney Vacation Club members. If you own direct through Disney Vacation Club, you are eligible for this pass as well, which is a really awesome perk, I think. This pass is $1,079 plus tax. Florida residents, again, you can pay with no interest monthly, $205 down, and this is $79 a month. There are barely any blackout dates. Just Christmas and New Year's weeks are blacked out. You can make up to 5 park reservations at a time. And again, plus, if you're staying on property, you can make additional reservations based on the days of your stay. And finally, we have the Incredipass. This pass is open to any guest, out-of-state guest, in-state guest, any guest they want. It is the most expensive and least restrictive pass at all. In fact, there are no restrictions. There are no blackout dates for the Incredipass. You can go any day you want. You still have to make a park reservation though. This is $1,549 plus tax. Florida residents, again, can finance this with 0% interest. You have to put $205 down, and then it's $121 a month. Like I said, there are no blackout dates, but you do have to make park reservations, and you too, just like the Sorcerer's Pass, you get 5 reservations. But again, if you're staying on property, you can make additional reservations based on the length of your stay, based on each day of, additional ones for each day of your stay. You can add things on to your annual pass as well. You can add a photo pass downloads, which I have on my annual pass, and that is $99 plus tax for the year. And you can download unlimited photos from the PhotoPass photographers and ride photos and things like that. No watermark. Next, you can also do a water park and sports add-on option. That is also $99 plus tax for the year. There's no blackout dates for that. So what you're eligible for is Typhoon Lagoon Water Park or Blizzard Beach Water Park, whichever one is open. Oak Trail Golf Course, but you still would need to book a tee time. Foot golf at Disney's Oak Trail. It's light golf, but with soccer balls, and you kick them into the holes. Disney's Fantasia Gardens Miniature Golf Course, 1 round prior to 4 p.m. Disney's Winter Summerland Miniature Golf Course, again, 1 round prior to 4 p.m. And the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex is also included in that add-on. Okay, so you can purchase a new annual pass, Or if you already have a trip planned and paid for, you can upgrade your pass. I'm going to talk about that now. You can upgrade your ticket to an annual pass. If you're going to do that, make sure you do it before the end of your first day. So you can swipe into the theme park and then go to guest services before the end of the day and upgrade your pass before the close of that day. Because what they can do is they'll apply the entire price that you already paid on your vacation to, well, for theme park tickets to the annual pass. So then you just would pay the difference. Or in some cases, like if you're gonna get a Pixie Pass and you paid $800 in theme park tickets, well, the Pixie Pass was just $469, so they're gonna owe you money. So if you're gonna upgrade, do it before the close of your day. It could make sense to upgrade. You have to sit and do the math. But if you're driving and parking at the parks, that's $30 a day. Take that into consideration. Take the 20% discount, up to 20%. It's not always 20%, but usually it's 15 or 20% discount at a lot of the restaurants. Take that into consideration too. I mean, let me give you a specific example. So a 10-day hopper is $913 in the example we used above. A sorcerer's pass, so the one that's open to Disney Vacation Club members and Florida residents, that's just 166 more dollars. So it's less than a 1 day ticket, about the same as one more day ticket to get the annual pass. So for example, if it was like do you know what I mean? If you were to buy one more day, it already makes sense. Or if you were to park 6 of those days, it already makes sense. The sorcerer's pass. If you're going to make another trip, if you wanted to go a second time in that year, well, then maybe even the Incredipass might make sense. You have to sit down and do the math. Use the exact dates that you want to go. Because as I said, when you just look on the website, it says starting at 119. Again, there's not many days that are 119. There are what, 22 days that are 119 in a whole year out of 365? Likely you're not planning all your trips during that time. So you have to look at when you'd actually want to go and price it out that way and use the real examples to do the math. Calculate the parking if you're going to rent a car or whatever, you got to really just do the math. But I have heard of examples. I've heard of a family they came from California and they stayed, and the dad upgraded his ticket. He didn't upgrade anyone else's. He upgraded his ticket. So they had the photo, and he did the photo. At that time, Photo Pass was included, but they got the photo pass. They got, which again, $99 is still less than what you pay for Memory Maker. And they did a bunch of tours. They got discounts on all those tours. If you wanted to do, again, Very Merry Christmas Party or something like that, you get a discount on that. Now it's only $10 a person on those, but it can all add up. Again, the discounts on dining, I don't know. You have to sit and do the math, but it may make sense to upgrade your ticket. But like I said, be sure to do that before the end of your first day. I have linked in the show notes everything you need to. You're going to have to do a little extra research with tickets, but I linked the annual pass link there right in the show notes. So if this is something you're considering, please click on that. Check it out. Check it out. If you have questions, DM me too or email me. I'm happy to talk it out for you. Okay, so now some other things that you would need tickets for, not just theme parks. Special ticketed events like the Very Merry Christmas Party, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Jollywood Nights, which is a holiday party at Hollywood Studios, and any of the after hours. So the Halloween party, the prices vary first of all, it's not going now, it's not Halloween season. The prices vary greatly, but the range was 119 to 199 basically. And that was for the Halloween party. So these extra parties, I don't know about after hours parties, but I would imagine they're the same. The Halloween and Christmas party and Jollywood, like those, you can enter the theme park at 4 o'clock. The theme parks close early. They close at 6 on those days, and the party starts at 7 o'clock, and the party runs from 7 o'clock to midnight. But you can get in the theme park at 4 o'clock with your ticket. You don't have to buy a theme park ticket with your Very Merry Christmas party or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party ticket or Jollywood Night Party ticket, you can enter the theme park again without purchasing a theme park ticket at 4 o'clock. And again, those are the price. So for the Halloween party, it ranged this year from 119 for a few dates in August to 199, which was the most expensive, and that was in October. The Christmas party ranged from $169 to $219. Again, it varied on the date. Jollywood Nights starts at $169. And then there are after hours party. I think this is a really great option. They're reopening these back up. They used to have them. They closed for a while and now they're back up. These are for select nights at select parks, but I'm going to talk about it now. And these are for 2025, the year 2025. So Magic Kingdom will have after hours, and I would imagine it works the same. I'll do a separate episode on it, but it's that you can stay in the parks later and get a lot done. And they really restrict the number of people there, so the waits should be minimal. Magic Kingdom select nights from January 6th to May 19th, and they're from starting at $175 per adult. Hollywood Studios select nights from January 22nd to September 3rd, starting at $125 per adult. Epcot select nights February 27th to September 25th, starting at $125 per adult. So look forward to those. If you're interested in them, I put a link. If you'd like to attend a water park, you can. And there's a few options. If you, with no blackouts, it's $74. But with some blackouts is $64. So that's the price for a water park. You'd be able to go to whichever water park is open. Right now, Blizzard Beach is closed, so Typhoon Lagoon would be the water park you could visit. The water park season pass is $79, but that's only open until May, and there are 2 weeks in April. It is blocked out. Then you can also purchase tickets to go to the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. I personally have never been there, so I can't really talk about this from experience, but it's a very large sports complex. A lot of school groups or travel soccer teams or cheerleading competitions, dance competitions, things like that occur here at the Wide World of Sports Complex. You can purchase a ticket to be a spectator there, or again, if you have the sports and water park option or the Hopper Plus option, that would be included. Or if you added that onto your annual pass. There are select dates. It's like only when there are events that you could go and be a spectator. You'd have to check this out. I have linked the website to ESPN Wide World of Sports. If that's something you're interested in, you're going to have to, it's too complicated for me to like describe every little thing. You'll have to just go and look, see an event that you may want to go be a spectator at, and then look to see how much that would be. That's how it really works. Or if you're traveling with a group that's competing there, like a travel sports team or, they have a field hockey court, things like if you're traveling with a group going there, your group may have organized spectator tickets. So speak to the group first before going to Disney World and purchasing your own. But that is an option to purchase a ticket to go and be a spectator at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. And again, the prices really vary depending on what sport it is, what dates, things like that. So check the show notes. Okay, now I need to talk to you about how you're going to purchase these tickets. The first is through the My Disney Experience app or website. I find it very user friendly. It's pretty easy. You just select how many days you want to go, the date range, and it's very, very clear how much each day is. You can scroll that calendar and see, and you can plan your trip accordingly if you have flexible dates on what fits in your budget. I find the website very user friendly. So you can do it right from the app. You also can do it through a travel agent. If it's just too overwhelming to you, you can use a Disney a travel agent that has a relationship with Disney World. I have linked my travel, the one that my friend Carrie, I use her when I'm booking my things. Using a Disney travel agent like that costs you no money. Disney actually pays them for services. So it doesn't cost you anything more. You're going to pay the price that you would see online. There's no added fee. Disney World pays them directly. So It's really nice. I love working with Carrie. So I've linked her information below. You can also combine your tickets with a resort package, which if you're staying on property is probably the easiest thing to do. And again, my next episode's going to do a resort overview so you get a good feel for that. But you can do that in a vacation package. You can book that with your with your resort. The other thing you can do is go through a third party. I would be leery of going through third parties of if they're good vendors or not, if they're reputable, if your ticket's going to work, are you going to get to the park and then not be able to get in? I'd be a little leery of third parties, but there are two that I know are reputable, and that is Undercover Tourist. I've linked them in the show notes too, and Costco. A lot of people book their trips through Costco Travel, so that's an option as well. If you are in the military, please be sure to speak to, I don't know who, but check your military perks because there are special things with military personnel. With a quick Google search showed me GovX is for veterans and active duty military, and you can get tickets, and I think they're discounted through them. Disney also does discounts for military. So please don't just go by, like take the time to just like take a little check or contact a travel agent and let them check that for you, because you'll have other perks that those of us who are not military will not. Next, I want to talk to you a little bit about discounts. Now, this is a little complicated. Mouse Savers has good information about what's scammy, what's not, what are reputable discounts, and what's not. I've linked them below. Check them out. It's a decent website. If you are in a union, check with your union. If you have like a website or a portal you log into, oftentimes, and now Disney has significantly cut the contracts they've had with unions in the past years, but still check it out that you may have one. My friend got her ticket. She's a government employee, and she got her tickets through Tickets at Work, and she got discounted tickets through that because she's a government employee. If you're out of the United States, if you're in Canada or in the UK, there's often discounts specifically designed for out of country guests. So definitely check that out on the Disney website. There are DVC discounts and also AAA discounts. And again, DVC was Disney Vacation Club. It's basically the timeshare for Disney World. Next, I need to talk to you about how you show that you have a valid ticket in order to get admitted into a theme park, a water park, whatever, etc. The first thing you can do on your app, you have it right on your app in Magic Mobile. It works on Android. It works on both Android devices and iPhone devices. On an iPhone, you just save it to your wallet. I would imagine it works the same way for a non-iPhone phone, but you can use your phone for your ticket. Another thing you could do is go to will call, which would be at the entrance of all of the theme parks. They'll ask you for your credentials. They might bring up your email address that you booked with or ask to see that and on your phone. And they can give you an actual card. It looks like a little credit card. It's a little plastic card, but it's got like, a little a little Disney flair on it. And that is called your key to the kingdom. And you can use that just as you would your phone. And that key, what I'm talking about, if you're staying on property, you can use all these things to unlock your room, your phone, your key to the kingdom, or the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is a magic band. You can use that to get in your room. You use that to scan into the park. If you've got fast passes, you're going to use that to scan into, or your lightning lanes, you're going to use that to scan into your lightning lanes. If you are doing Very Merry Christmas Party, you use that to get into the Very Merry Christmas Party. Those are very important, and you do not want to lose them or have your phone die or anything like that. So you can use that. You can use your actual phone. You can get a Key to the Kingdom card, physical card, or you can get a magic band. You don't have to get a magic band. They are no longer free with your resort stay. They used to be. They're not anymore. And they're a significant, they're pricey. You can get magic bands discounted when you stay on property. That'll be an option for you to add on, and they'll already be synced, and you can get them personalized if you want. And they will, if you do it far enough in advance, they'll mail right to your home, or you can pick them up when you check into your resort. You can also get magic bands. You can just go on the Disney website and order them and have them shipped to you, and then you would have to sync them yourself. It's easy, and there's a step-by-step guide, but or again, same thing, you can order them from like Amazon and do the same thing. You don't need a magic band, but you may want one. And that is our episode on tickets. A lot of information. If you have questions, shoot me an email, find me on Instagram. But I hope this gave you lots of information. You understand a little bit more. Thank you so much for joining me. Our next episode, I believe, is going to be on resorts. I have a few mapped out, but I think resorts would, a resorts overview. I will dive deep into all resorts, but I might have to just do an overview for you so you understand that a little better. So I think our resorts overview is going to be next. And then we have to do transportation too soon. You need to learn all that too. So. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to check the show notes. There's a lot of information there. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to tell your friends about it. Send it to whoever you think's interested, and definitely subscribe and give me likes and comments and things. Yay. Thank you so much for listening to the Disney Days Planning Podcast. See you real soon.